Hey there retro fans, welcome back to RGF RetroGameForce. And in the beginning of the 90s, one-to-one fighting games were hugely popular, and the most popular game back then was for sure Street Fighter 2, and Street Fighter 2 was an awesome game. But a company named SNK wanted their luck in this hugely popular game genre. So SNK tried their luck with two games, Fatal Fury and this one, Art of Fighting. So in this video I want to do something different. I want to do more than a review, because this game was already reviewed a million times before. So what I want to do is showcase the artwork coming out of this game, coming from the cartridge, coming from the instruction manual, because I have the Japanese version and I can tell you it looks great. So I want to share this with you guys. And secondly, I want to of course showcase the quality of the video quality of the game running here on the OSSC, and of course explain a little bit how different was Art of Fighting compared to other games, one-to-one fighting games from this generation. So guys, stay tuned! Let's start here with the cartridge. So as you can see here, this is the Japanese version made in Japan, and yeah, the cartridge look great. Well, every cartridge from the Neo Geo AES looks great because they are so big. Two PCBs, and yeah, awesome stuff. So let's go to the manual. Now we have the instruction manual, and everything is in Japanese, but the artwork of this little guy here is unbelievably awesome. So you have some cartoons, some BDs actually, explaining the training of the guys here in the dojo from Mr. Karate, and yeah, the sister of Ryo, and their relationship and whatever. I don't read Japanese, which is kind of a shame, because this looks awesome. So she was kidnapped from somebody, huh? From Mr. Big, huh? Yeah, this is great. This is great. Now we have to read the instructions, how you play, all the characters. It's in black and white, but the quality is really awesome. So heavily recommended to check the instruction manuals coming from the Neo Geo. And in colors you have already some new game from Neo Geo. By the way, I also own this one, and yeah, awesome stuff from the Art of Fighting. So here we have the case for the cartridge. Anybody knows nothing about this power. There was a dragon, there was a tiger, and they were the strongest in the world. The tiger and the dragon, which is basically the title from the Art of Fighting in Japan, and they put it Art of Fighting, which I actually feel that it's a great title, Art of Fighting. It looks like a 90s movie, and the game helps to be like a movie, because you have to save the girl, the sister from Ryo, best friend of Ryo. Both are the same master in martial arts, and that's great. And here we have all the characters from the game. Actually, they look a bit different compared to the sprites of the game, but this is great. And the game is compatible with a memory card from the Neo Geo. Yay, awesome memory card. And back then, this means that you can play this on the arcades and you bring it home. You can put this memory card to the arcade cabinet, and you could bring the high score in this memory card home, with also of course the unlockables. This was great from Neo Geo, ahead of its time for sure. So guys, let's go for the footage of the game, and let's talk a bit about the history of the art of fighting. So here we have footage from the art of fighting running on my Neo Geo AES coming from the OSSC. And back then this game really impressed me on the arcades because of the size of the characters and the pixel art. One thing that was really pretty new was this zoom in and zoom out function, possible for the, of course, with the Neo Geo hardware, because it was a very capable hardware to do this in the really fast, in a fast way. Another thing that really impressed me back then, and still impressed me today, was the storyline. So you could see that they had a sister of Rio kidnapped, and you have a follow-up before the matches actually start. You have a chat with your adversary, and afterwards you have to move on, and there's a reason why you move on to where you move on. And that's actually pretty nice. It really looks like a movie from the 90s built up into a video game. And if you think these were enough innovations for Art of Fighting to be different from other fighters, you're wrong, because SNK did also a very innovative thing. That was include on the bonus stages the possibility of increase the capacity of your character. So the strength, the stamina, and of course even special moves that you can add to your character if you pass successively the bonus stages. And even the ending has a kind of a thing that I will not mention because of spoilers, even if spoilers matters because this game is old and everyone knows it. But anyhow, even in the ending you have a surprise. So SNK really put some effort to this game to be different and differentiates this game from other games in the same era, from the same genre. Going for the game itself, it was released in 1992, it was the second fighting game from SNK, followed by Fatal Fury. And by the way, Fatal Fury and Art of Fighting, they are running in the same world, so the Art of Fighting is kind of a prequel to Fatal Fury, and that's interesting also. Regarding mechanics and gameplay, the game itself is a bit different compared to Street Fighter 2. You have two bars, so one is the life bar and the other one is the energy power energy bar that is that you need it for special moves, to execute some special moves. And also really nice touch is that you can remove this energy from your adversary if you make fun of it, but of course he can also do it. So the machine can also do this to you, and this was actually pretty interesting. Of course, the game itself has also some points. I think it could be improved, or it could be better, because they improve with the second Art of Fighting. On the story mode, you can only select two characters, Ryo and Robert. And from my point of view, this is a bit short compared to other fighters. I know there's a story mode, and this will mean that you have to create story for more characters and more space on the cartridge was needed. But anyhow, there you have. Of course, on versus mode you can select all the characters, but yeah, anyhow. Regarding soundtrack, I prefer the Street Fighter soundtrack, I will say. Even if this one has some good tunes, I think the Street Fighter series, they have better soundtrack and sound effects in that matter. So yeah, something that could be better on the Art of Fighting. And even though if the graphics are amazing for the era, and they are huge graphical pixel art, they are amazing, the animations are a bit too stiff, I will say. But I think this was the way that you can have such huge characters and maintain more or less the frame rate. So I can understand why SNK did this choice. But anyhow, the game itself is amazing. I will say that the animation could be smoother, let's say. So resuming Art of Fighting, awesome arcade game, a true classic, and it's not one of the most expensive games that you can get for the Neo Geo AES, and it's kind of a mandatory game to have in your collection if you collect for the Neo Geo AES. If you don't have a Neo Geo AES, there's a lot of other ways to play this game, and you should play this game because this is the roots of the King of Fighters. Together with Fatal Fury, these were the roots for the King of Fighters game that became the cult fighting game for SNK. So guys, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, leave me a like, a comment, and don't forget to subscribe the channel to get more of these kind of videos in the future. And as usual, until the next video, bye bye.